everyone, today's video is going to be how to make a series of abstract compositions, which is one of my favourite things to do. So it's going to be a lot of cutting and collaging and creating some little boxes of coloured compositions. Now what I've done is that I have already painted up my own sheets of paper. So I just used some acrylic, I mixed up some colours in my palette, and I've painted some large sheets of paper using some cool colours. So my compositions, I've decided to base the colour palette around seascapes. So I'm taking inspiration from photographs that I took on my walking tour of the sea. And so I have mixed up lots of different cool colours that connect with the sea, and then what I'm going to do is come up with a series of compositions that relate to the ocean. Okay, let's get started. So what I've done is I've cut all my painted papers. I've used a guillotine to cut some nice straight edges into some of these painted papers, and then the next thing is going to be that I'm using my scissors. I'm going to almost be drawing with the scissors to cut different shapes and different types of forms and different types of lines into the papers. So because my project is about the sea, I'm going to really be pulling on quite natural forms, so thinking about using wavy lines when I cut to really reference the ocean. Also on my tour in Folkestone there were some arches and some bridges, so I'm going to be really thinking about bringing those arches into my compositions and really thinking about my primary imagery and how I can connect my compositions with my primary sources. But apart from that, I'm not drawing things out, I'm just simply getting stuck in with my scissors, and it's going to be quite random in terms of the way that I cut. I'm going to be quite experimental, and then I'm going to start to lay things out. So I've cut all the little parts, and I've used Pritt Stick to stick all the tiny little pieces down so that the compositions are all single pieces that can then be presented and laid out either on a design sheet, so you could use an A2 design sheet for your portfolio, or if it's going to go into your sketchbook, which is what I'm going to do, I'm going to present them across a double page with a heading. And what I'm going to do is use some of the scraps left over to cut out some typography to go with my compositions across the double page. Here you can see the final double page of the sketchbook. So up here I have used the recycled little bits of the scraps of paper to create my title. And I've just filled up the page. I had a couple of extras, so what I've done there is I've just put some holes in there with a hole punch, and I'm just going to string them into the middle of the book and then just annotate. So a little bit of an explanation about what I've done here is going to be on the back of these extra pieces. I've also just stuck in a plain piece of blue here as well, so I'm just going to add a little bit of annotation onto that blue background so that I've got a little bit of writing description of what I've been doing. And the annotation that I've written, I'm just going to read out, is I've been inspired by the ocean, the sounds and shapes of the waves have informed the types of lines and the way that I cut the papers. I use the scissors to draw spirals, waves and arches, and it also tore into the paper more freely. And then just on the inside part here, I've got a little bit of annotation too. Folkestone seafront, the harbour and the bridges around Folkestone gave me the shapes I wanted for my compositions. So these abstract compositions have been inspired by seascape, and I use my primary sources to inspire the colour palette. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you liked it, then please subscribe to my channel, Art Sesh GCSE and Day Level Art, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!